Ever found yourself a little short on cash before payday? We've all been there. That's where apps like EarnIn can seem like a lifesaver, offering a way to access your earned wages early. But the big question is, how often can you actually borrow from EarnIn? That's what we're diving into today. Now, before we get into the specifics, it's important to understand that EarnIn isn't a loan. It's a cash advance service that lets you access a portion of the money you've already earned but haven't been paid yet. Think of it as bridging the gap between paychecks. They do this by analyzing your work schedule and pay history to determine how much you can access. So, how often can you tap into this access? The short answer is, it depends. EarnIn doesn't have a fixed limit on how many times you can use the service within a given period. They don't say, you can only borrow twice a month, for example. Instead, they use a more dynamic system. Several factors influence how often you can borrow. First, and probably most important, is your earnings. The more you earn, the more you can potentially access. This makes sense, right? EarnIn needs to be able to recoup the cash advance from your next paycheck. So, if you have a consistent and predictable income, you'll likely have more flexibility. Another factor is your repayment history. Just like with any financial service, responsible usage is key. If you consistently repay your advances on time, you'll build trust with EarnIn. This positive track record can lead to increased borrowing frequency and potentially higher limits. On the flip side, if you miss repayments or frequently request extensions, it could affect your ability to borrow as often. Your spending habits also play a role. EarnIn's algorithm analyzes your bank account activity to get a sense of your financial stability. If you have a history of overspending or irregular income, it might impact how frequently you can use the service. They want to ensure you can comfortably repay the advance without putting yourself in a difficult financial situation. Finally, the specific features you use within EarnIn can influence borrowing frequency. For example, some features might have limitations or require certain eligibility criteria. It's always a good idea to check the details of each feature to understand any restrictions. Now, here's a crucial point. Just because you can borrow frequently doesn't mean you should. It's essential to use cash advance services responsibly. While they can be helpful in a pinch, relying on them too often can create a cycle of dependency. It's always better to focus on budgeting and creating a financial cushion to avoid constantly needing to access earned wages early. Think of EarnIn as a tool to be used strategically, not as a regular supplement to your income. It's best for unexpected expenses or short-term cash flow issues. Using it responsibly will ensure you can access it when you truly need it. So, to summarize, there's no set number of times you can borrow from EarnIn within a month or a week. It's a dynamic system based on your earnings, repayment history, spending habits, and the specific features you use. The key is to use the service responsibly and avoid relying on it as a long-term solution. With said, thanks for watching, and until next time.